Hello. Thanks for agreeing to set up this interview. As you know, we only have a short amount of time, so let's go ahead and get started right away.
All right.
Now, I know that you've been involved in some work on community issues. Can you tell me what attracted you to the community issue that you chose at the beginning of the semester?
What attracted me to the community issue that I chose, which was military affairs, it's pretty easy. My entire life, I have always had deep interest in the military, whether it's domestic or foreign, and whether it's war or peace, I've always just been interested in the involvement in the affairs of the military. And just last year, I decided to join the Army National Guard. And then after I joined, and now I've been in for over a year now, and I realized that, yes, I think that before last year, I was very credible and I knew what I was talking about. But now that I've joined the Army and I have an inside look on it, I think that I'm a lot more credible, and I actually know a lot more about the issues that are in the military. And there's a lot of issues, good and bad, that are in the military, and I felt like this would be something good to talk about because a lot of people are ignorant when it comes to the military. It's not that they don't care, it's just because it's not talked about very much in depth. So a lot of people find themselves ignorant and don't have the facts right when it comes to the military. So that's what stuck out to me.
Okay, thank you. Now, your materials also said that you were involved in a community issue team project that focused on a call to action. Can you share with me what call to action your team put forward and why you chose that call to action?
Of course. The team I had for the persuasive speech was Kurt Fritzie. It was just a two-man team, and Kurt Fritzie is also in the Army National Guard. So instantly we hit it off, and we knew what we wanted to talk about. We weren't quite sure, but we knew it had to be something in the military because why would we not? We're this credible in this subject. We need to talk about this. So our call to action was that the United States and Americans need to support the use of military presence globally because the U.S. has a lot of bases around the world, over 700 bases around the world. And a lot of people will argue that that is a waste of money and that is a way to arise issues with other countries. And a lot of people just don't know what the facts are. And me and Kurt, what we tried to do, it wasn't that we were trying to raise money, because that's not what we wanted to do. And it's not like we were trying to get them to go online, because that's not what they needed to do either. All we wanted to do was express the facts about U.S. military presence globally, and we were asking for their support. Our call to action was their support for military presence globally. And we just explained how our presence globally helps our country, and not only our country, and other countries around the world. So that was our call to action, was to support the United States military presence globally.
I see. Now, if I were to ask the other members of your team what they think your biggest strength is, what do you think they would say, and why do you think they would say it?
That's also a good question. Well, Kurt and I hit it off, like I said, and I think that we had very little friction. We were pretty easygoing, and we get along, and it was a very easy speech because we were both interested in the topic, and we are both friends, so it just made it a lot easier. So I don't. If I had to say one thing that Kurt would say good about me, it was probably that I organize the information better. Because Kurt's very good at getting the information, but I felt like I did a good job at putting it together in a way that flows smoothly. So if Kurt was going to say something, I feel like he would say that I organized it pretty well.
Okay, great. What for you was the most challenging thing about working with your team?
Like I said, me and Kurt got along really well, and it was very frictionless, and we had very little speed bumps. But if I had to say something that was the most difficult or the roughest thing about our speech preparedness was that we never really got together. It was mostly text message or call, which organized it. We got together once and it went well, but if we were going to make improvements, it probably had to be face to face and a little bit more. So, but he is busy through the guards, and he had the weekends, one weekend at drill, and I had another weekend at drill. So we had a busy schedule, so it was harder for us to get together. But I think that we still did a good job. But that was probably what held us back the most, was just not having much face to face time.
Thank you. Okay, last question. In 30 seconds or so, tell me what your biggest takeaway was from COMM 110 this semester. What will stick with you and be useful to you?
COMM 110 was pretty easy class if you actually tried. If you gave the effort, you were going to do just fine. And I feel like the biggest thing I learned was just to have confidence, and that's what I did, and I feel like that went very well for me. And I think so that's the biggest thing I learned, was to have the confidence. And it already started out, I was already pretty confident because I took a college communications class in high school, so I was pretty ready. But no, the staff was great, the small group was a very good thing, and the large lecture was fun and upbeat. I mean, for an 8 a.m. class, it was as upbeat as it could be. So that's what I appreciated, and I think that the biggest thing I learned was just to be confident in what I talk about, and that will come off credible and smoother, and you will be a better speaker from it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. We'll probably be in touch with you in the next few weeks or so. Take care.
Thank you.